The movie opens with a couple exchanging messages saying they miss each other. Their names are Rachel and Aries. They are in a long-distance relationship, with Rachel living in Spain and Aries in Sweden. It's not easy for them to stay away, mainly because Aries was once Rachel's neighbor, so they saw each other daily. Aries writes to Rachel that he has a surprise for her. Her doorbell rings, and she thinks it's him, but it's a delivery man. Aries brought earphones for them to talk to each other whenever they want. It's a romantic way for them to feel connected. Days go by, and for some time, talking only through messages, video chat, and calls is enough. Soon, the distance becomes too much for them, especially Aries, who is living in a different country. Not only that, but Rachel is also busy with her studies and work. She's doing creative writing, while he's in medical school. It's not always that they can talk, and when they don't, it hurts. They start questioning if their relationship will work, now that they are away from each other. One day, when Aries is sad and lonely, he calls Rachel, but she's with her friends having fun and her phone runs out of battery. Aries is in a bar, and a group of girls from his class call him to have fun with them. He goes home instead. When Rachel gets home, she calls Aries, but he's sleeping. Aries starts questioning their relationship. He makes friends with his classmates and starts going out with them to have fun. He gets especially close with one of the girls, Vera. He cheats on Rachel with her after drinking and feels terrible. He wonders if they are doing the right thing in maintaining their relationship, but at the same time, he misses her a lot. He sends her a voice message crying, saying that he needs to see her and that he's having doubts. He never sends it. As for Rachel, she's also having doubts and wants to try an open relationship. There's a boy in her class, Gregory, who's always flirting with her. She likes him. It's summer vacation, and Aries sends her a message to ask what her plans are. She doesn't reply. Her professor calls her to inform her that her text, "Through my window," is so good that she believes Rachel can publish it. She advises Rachel to be more attentive during classes, and to stop playing on her cell phone all the time. Rachel feels as if her life is stagnant. She loves Aries, but being away from him isn't improving her life. Gregory invites Rachel to a party during the vacation, and her friend, Daniela, believes she has to go. She can't stop living her life because Aries is in another country, doing who knows what. Rachel goes after Gregory to accept his invitation, but stops before she reaches him. As she stares at him, wondering if she's doing the right thing, Aries approaches her. He surprises her so much that Rachel is speechless. After some time, she hugs and kisses him. Daniela isn't happy when she finds out that Aries is back. She doesn't think he's good for her friend. She runs to their other friend, Yoshi, to make a plan to keep them apart. Aries takes Rachel to his family's beach house. On the way, he explains that he needed to see her again, after so long separated. Rachel doesn't look overly excited that Aries is there. There's an awkward silence between them in the car, as if they don't know how to talk to each other anymore. The house is on a beautiful, isolated beach in Catalonia. It's the first time Rachel is there with Aries. They start kissing, and things get heated. Before they can go any further, they hear a sound coming from the house. Aries' brother, Artemis, is there with his girlfriend and their younger brother, Apollo. Aries can't believe his bad luck. He thought for sure he would be alone for the whole weekend with Rachel. To make things worse, Daniela shows up with Rachel's other friends, and it becomes a pool party. Despite it not being exactly what he wanted, they have fun. Rachel and Aries get intimate when they are finally alone, but things aren't good between them. Their chemistry isn't there anymore. It's almost like they are two pieces that don't fit. They blame their lack of chemistry on the distance between them and being tired. Rachel decides that they need to spend some time together to get to know each other again. After that, she's sure they will go back to the way things were. In the meantime, Artemis is also having issues with his relationship with Claudia. She's the daughter of the housemaid, and they grew up together. Artemis hides their relationship because he's afraid of what his parents will say. Claudia is getting tired of being hidden as if she's a dirty little secret, and gives Artemis an ultimatum. Later on, as they are hanging out in the house, Artemis is going to tell everyone that he's dating Claudia. Before he does, his parents abruptly arrive, cutting his admission short. His parents think Claudia is there to be the help, and Artemis doesn't correct them. Claudia feels humiliated and heartbroken. She understands that Artemis will never stand up to his parents, and he's ashamed of her. In the evening, Rachel goes away to send her manuscript to a publisher, as her professor advised her to. She has doubts at the last minute, but Yoshi sends her a message saying that she should do it. He saw her hesitating to send the email. He believes her novel is amazing, and Rachel is surprised that he read it. Not even Aries did. Yoshi goes to talk to her, knowing that she's having doubts about Aries. He knows it must not be easy for her to be in a long-distance relationship in her early 20s. It's time for her to have fun and figure out what she would like to do with her life. She shouldn't be worrying about her boyfriend. Aries is feeling down in the dumps too. He noticed the distance growing between him and Rachel. He has no idea what to do. He talks to Artemis, and his older brother comforts him. Aries isn't sure about med school and going back to Sweden. Artemis understands him and reminds him that he'll always be there. The next day, Aries and Rachel go out together, just the two of them. They briefly stop at a restaurant to buy some water, and Rachel meets Gregory. She's embarrassed about seeing him, because she told him that she would travel with her mother. Aries shows up there and talks to Gregory. The two of them know each other, but Gregory doesn't know Aries is dating the girl he's interested in. He introduces Rachel to him, and Aries pretends not to know her. Aries quickly figures out that Gregory is interested in Rachel, but he's relieved to find out that she's been blocking his advances. Later on, they go on a boat trip with his parents. Yoshi watches as the two of them swim together, knowing that their relationship is doomed to fail. He knows Rachel, and he knows she isn't happy with Aries anymore. She hasn't been in a long time. They go swimming and spend some time together, away from the boat. When they are returning, though, another boat shows up. Much to Aries' terror, a girl is screaming his name on the boat. It's Vera. Luckily for Aries, she doesn't try to make a move on him right away, but she and her mother treat Rachel very rudely. Vera's mother makes comments about Vera and Aries being perfect for each other, something that bothers Rachel a lot. Vera invites them to hang out with her, and Aries accepts. They all get together to eat dinner, including Rachel's friends. Daniela and Yoshi notice right away that Vera is interested in Aries. The way she patronizes Rachel isn't ignored. Vera soon shows her true intent with Aries when she tells everyone about their adventures in Sweden. Daniela pointedly looks at Rachel, but she doesn't know what to say. She's uncomfortable and bothered that Vera seems so close to Aries. He never once mentioned her to Rachel. It makes her suspicious. When Yoshi starts to talk about Rachel's novel, she gets upset and leaves the table. Aries wants to go after her, but Vera goes instead. Vera surprisingly gives Rachel good advice. They find out they have some things in common. Vera's father abandoned her and her mother when she was a kid, and Rachel's father passed away. The reason why she writes is that she wants to make her father proud. Vera is in med school because her father is a doctor. She advises Rachel to take her time and think about what she wants to do. She shouldn't care so much about someone who isn't there for her anymore. Later on, they all go to a party. Daniela warns Rachel that she should look out for Aries and Vera, but she refuses to be suspicious anymore. She believes they are only friends. Aries watches Vera talking to Rachel and gets worried. He's afraid Vera is going to tell Rachel that he cheated on her. He can't lose Rachel. When they go back home, he subtly asks Rachel what she talked about with Vera, but Rachel replies that it was nothing important. Aries is relieved. Daniela sends her a message with a picture of Vera wearing Aries' shirt, and she's obviously naked. Rachel confirms it's Aries' shirt, but she's too shocked to say anything to him. She tries to not think too hard about them, thinking that there may be an explanation. The next day, though, Aries is wearing the same shirt. To make things worse, Vera is glued to Aries the whole day. Rachel can't stop her suspicions anymore. Gregory also shows up to hang out with them. He finally finds out that Rachel is Aries' girlfriend. Rachel invites Aries to swim with her, but he refuses. He stays with Vera instead. It's too much for Rachel. She feels her heart slowly crumbling to pieces. Gregory notices her staring at Aries the whole day, and decides to tell her what he knows about Aries. He's a womanizer, and he's always changing girlfriends. Rachel tries to reason his behavior, but it's obvious, even to her. Later on, Rachel decides to see if she can get Aries to admit he cheated on her. She invites everyone to play Truth or Dare. Rachel has the chance to ask 2 questions regarding Aries and Vera. 1, if someone else ever wore his shirt, and 2, if they slept together. When the two of them are silent, she gets her answer at last. Rachel is completely heartbroken. She can't believe that Aries would do something like that to her. Not only that, but keep interacting with the girl he cheated with right in front of her. It's too cruel. Rachel's packing her bags to leave when Yoshi arrives. She cries for the first time, and he comforts her. Aries arrives to talk to her, and they finally have a moment of honesty. Aries explains that the past year in Sweden wasn't easy for him. He had doubts about med school, and if it is truly what he wants to do. He never told Rachel because he didn't want to worry her. Vera noticed he was struggling and helped him. He made friends with her and went out to have fun. On one of these fun moments, he slept with her. He doesn't remember anything, because he was drunk. Hearing him say it is even worse for Rachel. She realizes that before he cheated on her physically, he was already emotionally cheating. He counted on Vera instead of on Rachel, his girlfriend. That hurts the most. Aries was afraid of looking dumb in front of Rachel. She was living her life while he was struggling. Rachel thinks his excuse is ridiculous and leaves with her friends. Moving on, Artemis and Claudia also break up their relationship. He saw her with another man and thought she was cheating on him. He humiliates her at his house and then fires her. He deeply regrets it later on, because he truly loves Claudia. He is just a coward for not telling his parents about her. There's one more party for them to go to. Rachel doesn't want to think about her mess of a relationship anymore. She wants to have fun with her friends and chill. Aries and his brothers don't go to the party. He's depressed after his breakup with Rachel. Artemis is also down after Claudia, so they have a pity party instead. Apollo insists that his brother goes with him to the party, but only Artemis goes. Aries is alone at the house when Vera shows up. She starts trying to seduce Aries, but he doesn't pay her any attention. He doesn't like her like that. Vera finally realizes that Aries loves Rachel, and that it's partly her fault that they are in this situation. Feeling guilty, she finally admits to Aries that they never got intimate. They just fell asleep, and she allowed him to think they did, out of pettiness. She likes him, and she thought he would fall into her graces. He didn't. She wants to sleep with him, now that he's single again. But Aries is pissed at her. He wants to go after Rachel, to tell her the truth and try to salvage their relationship. Meanwhile, Rachel and Gregory are close. They are talking and flirting, but Yoshi interrupts them. Unbeknownst to Rachel and everyone else, Yoshi is in love with Rachel. He has always been. He believed that after her breakup with Aries, she might give him a chance. The issue is that Gregory got there first. Seeing Rachel with Gregory makes Yoshi feel reckless. He wants to be brave, to face his fears. Artemis goes after Claudia to apologize. She humiliates him the same way he did her. If he wants to get back with her, he needs to do as she says. In the end, even though he obeys her, she doesn't take him back. The way he treated her was too much for her, and she won't accept being treated like that again. Moving on, Rachel and Gregory are almost kissing, but she stops him. She remembers Aries and how much she still loves him. She knows their year was complicated and that the separation wasn't easy for them, but she loves him. At the same time, Vera tries to kiss Aries, but he averts his face. Yoshi steals a motorcycle and runs away with it. Rachel, after hearing the commotion, watches him leave with a worried expression. For the first time in his life, Yoshi doesn't care about people's opinions. He feels free as he swerves in traffic, in a way that he never felt before. He forgets about Rachel and his unrequited feelings. What he doesn't expect is for the owner of the bike to go after him with his friends. He accelerates the bike to escape and ends up getting into a bad accident. Aries sees the bike falling from a cliff from his house and runs in that direction. Rachel sees Aries and goes after him, afraid that something bad happened. Aries arrives at the place where Yoshi is and tries to perform CPR on him. Sadly, it's pointless. Yoshi has passed away. Daniela and Rachel go after him, worried. When Rachel arrives at the place of the accident, she sees Aries trying to wake Yoshi up. Aries is crying, desperate because he couldn't save their friend. Rachel can't believe her eyes. Yoshi is one of her closest friends, and she doesn't know how their life is going to be without him. The following day, Aries stays with Rachel. He offers her comfort, but she doesn't accept it. She's still hurt by the way things ended between them. Aries hasn't had the chance to tell her the truth yet. During the funeral, Rachel and Daniela are very emotional, especially when they see Yoshi dressed in black. He was a very colorful person and hated black. Rachel makes a scene, and Aries takes her outside for her to calm down. It's even worse. Rachel is too upset and raw. She blames Aries for not saving her best friend. Aries feels terrible already for not being able to save Yoshi, and hearing Rachel say it hurts deeply. Aries also snaps and says that he could have saved Yoshi if he didn't spend the whole year on his phone. He blames Rachel for not spending time with Yoshi, for ditching him to hang out with Gregory. It's like a slap on Rachel's face, but she had it coming. Deep down, she's blaming herself too, for not being there for Yoshi when he needed her. Rachel accepts that reality and goes back to the funeral without Aries. During her speech, Rachel apologizes to Yoshi for not spending enough time with him, for wasting her time in useless relationships. She knew Yoshi would always be there for her, and now he isn't. When Aries hears that, he leaves the funeral. It's painful to hear that the girl he loves regrets spending her time with him. After Yoshi's gone, things are very bleak for Rachel. Her best friend passed away, and guilt is eating at her. Aries goes back to Sweden, still heartbroken over how things ended between him and Rachel. He still loves her, but he's realized that they can't be in a long-distance relationship anymore. The distance is too much for them, and they forgot how to act around each other. It's painful, but he understands it's time for him to let her go. Vera sends him a message, but it's not possible to know if he replied or not. As for Rachel, she finds out Yoshi did one last thing for her before he passed. He sent her manuscript to a publisher, and Rachel's book was accepted. She will have her book published as a romance. Rachel is very emotional to learn that Yoshi believed in her talent like that. She knows no one else ever will, not like him. Rachel is happy about it, and she's ready to move on. Gregory shows up at her house to talk to her, but she isn't ready to be in another relationship yet. She wants to enjoy her life and focus on her career. She's determined to give her best, all for Yoshi. At the end of the movie, Rachel closes the window that was in front of Aries' window when they were neighbors. She fell for him while watching him through that same window. Now, it's closed.